Okay, hi everyone. Thank you for your time coming to TFTC open house. My name is Alan, one of the trainers at TEF itself. And pardon me if I look a bit sweaty. It's not because I'm very anxious, it's because the aircon just on when you got centralized aircon. So I apologize if you do feel a bit warm, okay? So sorry about it. It will take some time for the aircon to actually work. Okay, thank you for your time. Especially on a Sunday, coming down to our open house and join us to know more about our courses. Really appreciate that. And also, you brave through the so-called the current situation of the virus itself, and you are here joining us today. And I also would like to welcome those who join us on our Facebook Live as well. Okay. If later you have any questions, you can actually go to slido.com. You can just scan this QR code and just type in your questions. And after my presentation, we can answer to your questions. Okay? Any problems? Okay, don't have, then I can start. Okay. Okay. I will be doing a lot more on the drafting and sewing courses at TFTC. Okay, we are a global fashion school without boundaries, training the industry since 1983. Wait, sorry. Sorry, Okay, in general, we are a deeply woven network with global industry partners. I'm sorry that it's not actually showing. We do work with quite a few big companies and organizations, not just in Singapore. One of them would be LVMH, you should know. And local would be like Charles & Keith and Ging Mill. All these are local companies and factories that we work with closely. Okay. And we train the industry in more than 15 countries and in prestigious organizations like LVMH. So you can see these are the countries that we're actually giving training to. Okay. Okay, so like I was saying, we are a deeply woven network. These are the companies and organizations actually we work with. Just to name a few, like just now I mentioned LVMH, Charles & Keith, Juki, as well as Robinson and Club 21. Okay, there are also opportunities to network at fashion industry events that you can take part in. Okay, we are a growing community of local makers and micro brands. Because in 2014, you actually see a boom in the makers culture. That means people start making their own stuff and they start to create their own brand and want to sell online. And this increased awareness as well as appreciation for artisan goods. And this, in fact, create a supplementary income from hobbies. That means hobbies, you earn extra income, very good, right? So, and then we also make use of the makerspace to boost our community spirit. So in this area, right, we increase the respect for made in Singapore goods. That means a lot more of made in Singapore. Like you will see a lot of local brands, as well as there's a unique and quality products coming from our TFTC itself, as well as demand for bespoke and customized products. Okay, these are the communities that actually supported us, namely like MOX as well as NICE and Design Orchard. Okay, at TFTC, we do provide a holistic curriculum tailored to give you the most realistic and industry relevant learning experience. So when you are attending our courses, most of the time you'll find that it's very close to what the whole fashion industry basically runs on. And including like lectures, e-learning, discussions, demonstrations especially, case studies, practical exercise, role plays and hands-on activities. So all these are very, in fact I would say almost the same as what the industry is actually doing. Okay, why do you want to pick up sewing? Okay, one of the reasons is it's one of the most affordable business to start off. Of course, you don't need to buy this machine now, which is a bit more expensive to start with. You can always start with a domestic machine. I have students who start with domestic machine and they do a lot of hobbies and it do really earn a substantial income, you know, by staying at home as well. And you don't need a lot of tools. Basically, just scissors, rulers, papers. And the flexibility in work area and timing. You can choose any time of the day. At night, for me, usually I work at night because no people disturb me. And as well as you can use the dining room. You don't have to especially have a particular area to work with or to start with doing all this handicrafts work. Okay, it also allows you to be financial independent. Yeah, and also give you extra income. Okay, for the first course that you actually need to take would be basic drafting and sewing, which is under the skills future framework itself. You'll be develop apparel patterns through drafting and sew basic tops and skirts. So in this basic course itself, you will learn how to take body measurements, draft garment patterns with body measurements or given size specification. That means basically you will measure one another and you will make tops and skirts in your sizes. Except for the guys, they will have to make my girlfriend's size, which is over here, the mannequin size. Okay, then you will learn to label, mark and lay out paper patterns. Draft basic skirts and variations. Draft bodies and top variations. That means you will learn the variations of tops and skirts patterns. For the sewing part, you will be a sleeveless top with clean finishing, and for the skirt itself would be waistline finishing as well as invisible zippers that we are training you to start with. Okay, after that you may move on to intermediate drafting and sewing, whereby same thing, you will learn taking body measurements, as it would be a different sets of body measurements you will actually need to take. And okay, you also understand the relation of styles and ease allowance. Draft a variety of pants and pockets if you do like to do pants or if you do like to make pants. And you also draft blouse with a variety of collars, from Peter Pan collar to Mandarin collar. Okay, and sew pants with waistband and pockets, as well as sew blouse with collars and cuffs. Okay, beside that, you may also want to attend our pattern drafting and sewing for dresses. Okay, so this is a bit different. For the basic dress course, right? Same thing, you'll be also need to take basic measurements. But for this course itself, you will learn how to manipulate darts on the dresses pattern itself, and label and mark patterns for cutting. You will sew a toile for fitting. That means a lining fit before you sew your actual fabric. And then you also need to sew actual dress with the given specification based on body measurements. Okay, next one would be pattern drafting and sewing for jackets. So if you like to know how to do like a Chanel jacket, you know, or Armani Privé jacket, you may want to attend this course. Okay, so I also understand these days not a lot of people are wearing jackets anymore, but for this next season, a lot of jackets are actually coming in again. Okay, here you will learn how to do patterns for notch collar jackets, develop styles of jackets including a cardigan jacket, that means there's no collars at all, which is like the very typical Chanel look, if you like. Okay, and then prepare fabric, lining, and fuse interfacing for sewing. Sew and seam units in progressive assembly. Jackets is a bit more intensive as there are more steps to completing the whole jacket itself, from the outer layer to the lining itself. Okay, then you will evaluate the sew jacket against a specification or body measurements. That means after you sew finish, you will actually try it on yourself to see the fit, whether you like it or not, the armhole too tight or you want it longer or shorter. Okay, and press the jacket into shape. Because for a tailored jacket, most important would be the pressing part. Pressing means iron. So you will have a well-pressed jacket. Okay, next one would be draping. If you like something that's more not the usual style, which can be achieved by paper patterns, you may want to come for this course. Okay, basically you would drape from a piece of fabric onto a body form, whereby you can create different shapes. You know, for draping itself, you can even create basic bodies as well as sleeve. Okay, and from draping itself, you will also learn about how to analyze style, balance, as well as proportion. That means after you drape on the mannequin, because on a paper pattern, usually you can't see the full thing until the whole dress or top is done. But for draping, you can. It's a straight away you can see. Because it's already on the mannequin, you can see how the shape, do you like the length or do you like the drape, you know? So you can adjust accordingly. And then transfer all these drape designs into paper patterns and then adjust patterns to customer size. Okay, next one would be, I think, quite a few of you favorite. You know, every Chinese New Year you can wear. So after you learn this, right, every Chinese New Year you can make one. Okay, this one will be cheongsam. Okay, same thing, you'll be drafting cheongsam based on your body measurements, and you will learn how to sew a cheongsam with a short sleeve. Okay, next one would be, I would advise a lot of people to go and learn, because these days, you know, when you buy clothes online, you know, it doesn't fit you, you always need to send to your tailor, your seamstress, and you think that they charge you a lot, but you can learn this and do yourself, and it's free. Okay, and for this course itself, right, you will be able to identify fit problems when the garment is worn, and you will be able to analyze alteration requirements and to rectify what are the problems, like too big, too small, whether you need to take in or release. Apply proper pinning to the garment where adjustment needed. That means if you want the skirt to be shorter, so you will use the pin to pin it shorter. And if you want the dress to be tighter, you just pin it tighter. Okay? And record the adjustment requirements and comments for alterations. That means after pinning, you will have to actually measure and write it down. So in case, you know, when we get older, you know, we tend to forget things, so it's better to write down. Okay, so these are some of our student works which they did on for the dressmaking. Okay. Okay, so for now I will be doing a demonstration. I'll be sewing actually collar with collar stand. Okay, so this is the industrial sewing machine. I understand from the older times, the machine usually works a bit quite fast, but don't worry, TFTC one has been remodeled to make it very slow for you. So don't worry that it goes very fast. Okay. And if you really have problems with it, just let the trainers know. They will help you with it. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the collar itself. Okay, usually I will check my patterns first. I make sure that my mark side is my wrong side, which I'm going to sew. That means the wrong side, right, is the part that I'm going to be sewing on. So later all this will be flipped and the right side will be coming out. Right side meaning the correct side of the fabric. Okay, so during when you attend all these sewing courses, you will be able to learn what do we what am I talking about on the right side, wrong side, you know. Okay, I'll do a back stitch first. Okay, when I'm doing the turning, right, you will see that I actually leave my needle down so that I'll actually be able to pivot the collar itself. Then I'll continue to sew. Okay, same thing coming to here. I'll lift up the footer and then I'll continue again. Okay, once I'm finished, I will do back stitching so that the thing won't unravel so fast. Okay, one thing good about all this machine is it comes with a cutting auto cut. That means you just step and it's cut already. You don't need to, you know, pull it out. Okay, very good, right? Okay, so next thing I will need to do would be I will miter a bit off here first, so that when I flip the collar over, it's not so thick. So now I'm going to flip the collar over. I'll just do a little bit of fold. Okay, same thing, I'll repeat for the other side. I'll fold a bit first, then I would flip it up. Okay, once you are done, you can see that my collar is actually being flipped out already. So the whole thing is being flipped out. Okay, so next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a top stitch on top to hold the two fabric in place so that it won't keep moving around. This is also what you will usually see in most shirt collars. Okay, so same thing, I'll back stitch. Okay, so same thing. I repeat the process again of pivoting. Okay, so same thing, I repeat the pivoting again. Okay, once I reach the end, I back stitch. Okay, I trim away the excess. Okay, now I'm going to attach the collar stand. Okay, you'll find that my collar patterns is a bit more different because most of the time you find that you want to do some patterns inside. So this time around I also did some, I choose a pattern fabric underneath as well.
That's very cute.
I will match back to the notch itself. So that I know which part to join to later. Okay, I'll start with one side of the collar stand first. Okay, you'll be wondering how I get so straight line because I follow the footer. So that's how you achieve straight sewing lines.
For those who want to ask any questions, you can scan the QR code at Silo, so you can ask questions online, alright? It's all over the place here, alright? Okay, I back stitch to end it. Okay, so now I will finish up joining the whole collar again. So same thing, I check for my mark part, which is the wrong side, so that I know that the wrong side is going to be inside the whole thing. So same thing, I'll match back to my notch. So when you are taking all these courses, we will teach you the industrial way of doing all this notching as well as sewing. Okay, I'll repeat the same process as well. Back stitch. Okay, so I finished this part and I'm going to flip it over. Sorry, I got this part to finish up as well. Yeah. Okay, then I flip it over. And one last step would be doing the top stitch and you will be done. Okay, back stitch. And your collar is done. Okay, so this is basically the collar that you'll be seen. Okay, so this one is more to your intermediate class that you'll be learning all this.
Okay. The reason why TAFE-TC, I think all of you already know that TAFE-TC are heavily funded by our government, SSG. So the reason why we get heavily funded is because we train the industry, and then we hope everybody study in TAFE-DC, you guys can make use of the skills you learn to help you with your lifelong learning journey. Okay, so can't really see here, but okay. So we have a few funding and also like some subsidies you guys are entitled to. First one will be SSG funding. So this funding is mostly for all the Singaporeans and PR if you are above 16, because we are adult training center. All right, so we hope that you guys come here and learn and then to take back some knowledge and skills. So this is 90% funding for SSG funding. Okay. So another one is WTS. What does it mean by WTS? Is workfare training support. So for people who are above 35 years old and then your earning is less than $2,000, you will be eligible for WTS. Means you only pay 5% of the course fee. Okay. And the third one is Skills Future Mid-Career Enhancement Funding. This is for people who are above 40 years old. Yeah, so for all the sewing courses, it's already 90% funded. So if you are eligible for that, your funding will still be 90%. Okay, and of course, finally, Skills Future Credit. I know that government is going to top up another $500 to all the Singaporeans above 25 years old and above, another $500 to your account. So if let's say that you want to utilize that, and then just let us know. We will help you with the enrollment in the later part to indicate that you are using your Skills Future credit. All right. So and also, if you are below 30 years old, and I believe you still have money inside your PSEA account, the post-secondary educational account, okay, you can utilize that as well. Okay, so UTEC funding, NTUC UTEC funding. How many of you are actually have your UTEC NTUC member? You are right. Okay, so every year you can claim up to $250. Okay, for all these courses here, diploma, pinning, and leather care, leather goods workshop, right? Okay, so the reason why you guys are here, because some of you, I think, shoot me questions about the sewing bundles. Sewing bundles normally is just exclusive for open house. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a few of the sewing bundles. You guys can take a look at that at the end of the presentation. Okay. First one is fundamental sewing. So this sewing bundle is for people who are have absolutely zero knowledge about sewing, or absolutely zero knowledge about fabrics and stuff like that. Okay, so first module is fabric care. So doing the course is a one-day course. It's normally held in the external venue. Is in the hotel, or sometimes the class size is too small. It will be upstairs in our main office in the level 14. Okay, and during the course, you will learn how to take care of your fabrics and identify different type of textiles. All right, and also second one is pinning. I think Alan mentioned it just now. Pinning is for alteration. Normally it's the course before you take the alteration class, basic alteration class. All right, and then the most popular class here in TAFE-DC is basic drafting and sewing. And then the final course is basic alteration. It's a 2-day weekend course. Normally you will learn how to use a sewing machine to actually operate the alteration. Okay, and the course fee for this fundamental sewing bundle is, after the subsidies for Singaporean and PR, which is 90%, is only $326. And then since it's open house, we're waiving off all the application fee of $12.84 each. Okay, and this whatever amount that I'm saying here, you can claim using your Skills Future credit or your PSEA. All right. Okay, so the next one, advanced sewing. This is normally for people who are already studied basic drafting and sewing, and you want to kind of learn something that's more advanced, that's more a level up. Okay, so the first module is interpret textile. So during this module, you will learn how the fiber become yarn and become fabrics, and then also you will do some burning testing inside the class for regarding all the fabrics knowledge as well. Okay, and then the second one is intermediate drafting and sewing. So you will learn how to sew a shirt with a collar. Okay, like what Alan actually demonstrated just now. And also a princess cut dress, sleeveless princess cut dress. Okay, and for this course, this is the amount after SkillsFuture SkillsFuture funding is $452.61. And again, all this course fee you can claim using your SkillsFuture credit. Okay. Okay, and then finally, Sewing Master. So this is more for people who already kind of learn the intermediate, the basic, everything. Then you want to learn about jacket. So jacket and also a color and style class means how to mix match clothes. Like what kind of footwear you will need to wear for like certain type of body shapes or like color coordination, stuff like that. Okay, and then also draping class. For this one is more expensive is because draping class is only 70% funded for people who are below 40 years old. So means you only get 70% funded. But other than that, I think the color and style class and also the jacket class is 90% funded by government. Okay. Okay, so what are the perks when you sign up today doing this open house? Okay, we are waiving off all the application fees. So normally it's $12.84 for each course that you register with us. Okay, and also if you sign up for one of the bundle, which is the fundamental bundle, we are giving away sewing toolkit. So it's worth $55. If you buy outside, it's $55. Or maybe you buy somewhere else, it's even more expensive. Okay, and also, I don't see any familiar face here today, but if you sign up for Advanced and Master bundle, it's normally for our existing student. You will get a fabric care class for free. I mean, this one is actually sponsored by our partner, Bansun. They're actually outside, so do check them out. Okay? All right, so some of the upcoming intakes for basic drafting and sewing, we have weekdays, evening class, weekend class. I know that some of you are working full-time, so you can't commit to weekday class. And you can come to the weekend class or evening class. And some of you guys maybe have kids at home. You have to send them to kindergarten, send them to school. We have half-day session as well. So morning session, afternoon session. Okay? Okay, pending for duration, we have 2 in upcoming intakes, 1 in April, 1 in June. Basic alteration, another popular, very popular course here. It's one, oh, actually I have 2 intakes in April. Okay, never mind. Okay, so as you guys know for now, all the sewing courses, it's made to measure. So that means that you have to take your body measurements during the first day of the class. So you kind of like sew the garment for yourself, right? We also have a bundle called Designer's Toolkit. So this course is actually, all the courses actually belong to a diploma. So in diploma, we learn how to sew garments with standard sizing, so SML. So if you're not interested in learning like made to measure or making it for like your loved ones and you don't know their like size, you know, like their size M or size L, you can go for these courses as well. Okay? And this one, you can speak to our program advisor, like myself. If you are interested, then we can help you to see how much funding that you actually get. Because this one, most of them, if you're below 40 years old, is only 70% funding. Okay, and then you are above 40 years old is 90%. Okay, so how do you actually enroll for our bundle? First, you can scan this code, create a student account first, because it really saves a lot of time when you trying to register at the back of the room, which you guys can proceed to the back if you're interested to sign up. Okay, and also find your sewing intakes. That means build your own schedule. So once you fill out the form, you'll receive an email from us. Then after that, you just present the email, bring it to our enrollers and my colleagues at the back. All right? Okay. Cool. Do you guys have any questions? Then I can address it during the talk. Yeah.
Can you load up Slido as well for the people?
Yeah, I know. Yep.
I think that from the website, there are existing courses
Yep.
starting maybe April, May. So can we also sign for those courses?
You can sign up for those courses. We actually indeed.
For July or June, right? Because that's how you stated July or June intake.
Okay, these are all like the upcoming courses, upcoming intakes. But if you want to sign up for like more like future intakes, you can do so. We actually open up all the way until the end of the year.
So also entitled to the kits?
You,
Sign today?
yeah. If you sign today, you also are entitled for the kit. Yeah. Okay, and some questions on Slido. I saw them on my screen here.
Wait, hold on. I'm also going to load that on the computer as well.
Okay. Some of you are asking, what will I be able to sew after attending the beginner class? Is there any project we will need to complete over the course of program? You will sew a top and a skirt, sleeveless top, and also a A-line skirt and at the basic drafting and sewing course. Okay. I wouldn't say project, but probably the end of the course you will need to take an assessment, right? So it's open book, and then just present your whatever you finish and to the trainer, and he will mark your assessment. Okay, what are the basic tools that I need to purchase for the basic sewing course? Okay, like what I mentioned, the sewing toolkit, which is $55 if you buy in outside. It's almost $55 lah. Then inside we'll have like curve rulers, pencils, erasers, all this you guys should have it at home. So whatever you have already, then don't have to buy again. Okay, so for beginner, which course should I take first? Drafting, sewing, or alteration? I would say basic drafting and sewing first, then after that alteration. Okay, let me just rephrase. Okay, basic drafting and sewing first, pinning class and alteration. All right, which is what we have in the fundamental bundle. For weekend course is actually it's currently Saturday and Sunday for 3 consecutive weeks. Is it possible to open a course for Saturday and Sunday for 6 consecutive weeks instead? Okay, so we are able to open the class like separately if you guys are willing to, as long as the minimum packs of the class is 12 packs. So if that means if some of you want to form a class and we can work that out, just drop me a text, then I will see whether we can open for people who are interested. Okay. Okay, is there any bundle course? That's the question you asked just now. Is there any bundle course for April or May? Okay, so the whole point of us building have this schedule personal preference or schedule builder is because we want you guys to sit down here and then just build your own schedule before you actually present us at the back. So later, if you guys are interested in sign up, then all of you can just crowd around at the back area so we can help you out. Okay? Any other questions? Nope? That's it? Oh, yeah.
I look at your website, some of the dates are quite far away. Sure, if we sign up and we couldn't meet the dates eventually?
That's a very good question. Okay, so doing open house, we understand that you guys need to make a very quick decision. So what about if let's say that when 1 month before that, then you guys cannot make it, and then let us know. Then just tell us that you sign up doing the open house. We can help you to change the intake for free. It's normally $53.50 for change of intake, but it's doing open house. We understand you need to make quick decision, so we can help you to change the intake for free. Okay.